Creepy. Creepy dude. Ooh.
There was some.
Well, this is Steve. Welcome to Classified Captures.
Okay, next we got a creepy video of something sneaking into a woman's home as she goes to a car. Maybe it's a drunk-ass husband. That to me just looks like a shadow on the camera. I've seen things like that all the time. A car, even in the distance, can go past and the headlights can shine on the camera and it gives that kind of glow. So I don't think this is anything sinister myself, but let's carry on. Yeah, to start with, I thought once again that was just some glow from headlights or something like that, but you could see it walking. So, yeah, I'm not sure. You tell me what you think.
I can't be the only one thinking this looks like waves in the sky, right? This clip was allegedly recorded during a live session by one member of the paranormal community. According to him, he was not even trying to capture the sky, but at some point during his live stream, he noticed the clouds looked weird, leading to him capturing and recording what you see on your screen. If you know the paranormal community as we do, then you know that this was definitely going to be a talking point for the rest of the day. Many saw this as evidence of cloud seeding. For those new to the technology, cloud seeding is a real weather technique where planes or ground machines release tiny particles like silver iodide or salt into existing clouds to help water droplets clump together and fall as rain or snow. It doesn't create clouds or control weather. It's only slightly increasing rainfall when the cloud conditions already exist. At least that's the official report. Many believe this is one of the weather modification techniques used by the government and some elite members of society to control the rest of us. To some members of the community, this is also proof of the waters above our sky. A lot to take in, I know, but what do you guys think?
Oh, ain't that cool? Look at them clouds. Looks like a wave. Ain't that neat?
Two separate witnesses in Shanghai, China just captured the same unidentified flying object moving through the sky. We know that two things are always going on in this world. Firstly, we absolutely have aliens here. We are always advancing military technology and technology of all sorts of different kinds of things, from Project Bluebeam to military, you name it. It looks very, very, very much like alien craft of some sort to me. I don't know what the big white line is compared to this, the three floating objects. It looks to me like the big line. It's almost like it's half cloaked or something. The big white line looks like it could be the craft. And the things on the end like a propeller or something. But you let me know. Tell me what you think.
I know, I know. It's another one of those dark clips you don't like very much, and well, neither do I, but pay attention. This was recorded late at night by a group of friends exploring the great outdoors. They thought it would be cool to play creepy music and go out on the town. That's how they used to call staying out all night back in my day. Good times. That night, they were all out for fun and games until they spotted something moving ahead of them. Given the time of the day and where they were, they didn't expect this, hence the screams you hear. Yeah, it's not very clear, but I do see what looks like a humanoid crossing them and running across the street. They don't start to investigate what it was because, well, why would they? Would you? I guess it's not very logical, but they did manage to capture this clip and wanted to know what it was. I thought it might have been a human, but some members of the team think it might be a rake, whereas a few others believe it was all faked for views, including the screams. So what say you? You think you've seen it all until someone steps up with evidence that the crew of the Challenger is still alive and out there. Jeez. The man on your screen did just that when he stepped up during a public government hearing and calmly claimed that the crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger never actually died. According to him, some of the astronauts were declared dead in 1986 explosion and are still alive today, living normal lives under different circumstances. He even had photos of these individuals as proof of what he was saying. As he continued speaking, officials cut him off, and he was eventually escorted out of the meeting by security. The clip spread fast, raising eyebrows because Challenger was one of the most watched tragedies in human history, investigated in detail and officially ruled as a fatal disaster. But conspiracy theorists say that is exactly what makes it suspicious. If the truth was really settled, why shut him down so quickly? Some point out to people alive today who share the same names and striking resemblances to Challenger crew members. Others suggest witness confusion, classified recovery details, or even that the disaster was staged to protect astronauts involved in secret programs. To believers, the public escort felt less like maintaining order and more like silencing someone who might be pulling at a thread they don't want to have unraveled. There are some, however, who believe this whole thing is just a misunderstanding. Personally, I don't know. I believe if something looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and behaves like one, well, it might be a duck. But then again, what do I know? Anyway, what do you guys think?
Next video, we got a woman experiencing a glitch when her doorbell camera informs her that someone's at the door. Let's take a look.
Why does it sound like?
Is she experiencing a glitch?
My camera is hacked. Who's there? Why can't I hear myself?
Why does it sound like there's an animal on the other side of her ring?
She's being hacked by dolphins. Good God. She's got dolphins living next door or something like that's going on.
What the?
Fucking coming! Give me my fucking chopper!
Has her Ring doorbell camera been hacked?
Look, why can't these things be hacked? It's an electronic device. We all know that our phones, our computers, tablets, everything, unless you stick a bit of tape around the lens and do things to make sure that no one can actually hear, we all know that this can happen. But you tell me what you think.
My camera is hacked. Who's there? Why can't I hear myself?
What do you guys think this is? There's a lot of footage of this one. It was captured on a property with Trailcams situated in different areas. In the first part of the clip, it was looking into the living room of the property it was at. Something scares or startles it, and it runs away into the woods. Other Trailcams pick it up walking around the property and staring. It's humanoid and appears to walk upright sometimes and crawls at other times. It's got a pale skin from head to toe and appears otherworldly, if you know what I mean. The property owner and clip uploader shared this, hoping the community could help her identify what it was. The majority who saw this were quick to label it as a rake, whereas a few others thought it might be a melonhead or wendigo. Take a look at this comment, for instance. The individual claims to have seen videos for nearly a decade of strange humanoid creatures, often called wendigos, rakes, or melonheads, for nearly a decade, including a YouTube clip where people in the wooded area of northern Georgia were chased after hearing a loud screeching noise. Others felt this was most likely the owner of the property pulling a Scooby-Doo on us. Well, you've seen it, so what do you think? The man on your screen has been preaching for decades, filling stadiums, moving millions, and speaking with an authority that leaves little room for doubt. Kenneth Copeland is one of the most recognizable faces of the modern megachurch movement, a man who claims direct conversations with God and teaches that faith is a force that could be spoken into existence. But some people watching this clip noticed something else. The private jets are justified as divine bargains, statements like God making a plane so cheap he couldn't help but buy it. The way wealth is framed is not as a byproduct, but as proof of righteousness. And then there are the moments that make viewers pause, the prolonged stares, the sudden shifts in tone, the facial expressions that seem to harden, then soften almost as if someone else is stepping forward. To critics, this feels less like preaching and more like performance. To others, something darker. That's where the theories begin. Some believe certain megachurches function more like cults built around unquestioned leaders whose words override scripture itself. Others take it further, suggesting these spaces may not be places of light at all, but platforms for deception, even vessels for fallen entities masquerading as messengers of God. They point to the fear, the control, the obsession with money, and ask whether some ancient is wearing a modern suit. Of course, defenders say this is nothing more than misinterpretation, charisma mistaken for menace, faith mocked by outsiders who don't understand it. So, when many people independently feel unsettled watching the same clip, well, it raises a question that won't go away. If something looks holy, sounds holy, but leaves you feeling disturbed, well, what exactly you're witnessing?
Cut the covenant with his father God.
Glory!
Yes, like Moses of old. Don't ever do it. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever do it! Absolutely stunning. Just delicious. It's so good. And he will be like Moses, and he'll live 120 years and said, yeah. Preach it, brother, preach it, brother.
Tensions are rising off the coast of Scotland after an unexpected move by US forces. Two men, the captain and first officer of a Russian-flagged oil tanker, were seized by US forces after the ship was intercepted in the North Atlantic. Scotland's courts have asked that the US not interfere and that the men remain under Scottish jurisdiction, but the US transferred them anyway to a Coast Guard vessel and took them out of British waters. This incident highlights a pattern that we've seen time and time again, the US making bold moves without fear of repercussions from other countries, even when formal requests or legal rulings are in place. Are they simply enforcing sanctions, or is this a deliberate statement about how far they're willing to project power globally? What do you think? Was this just law enforcement on the high seas, or is there a bigger message being sent to the world? If you've ever wanted to see what a werewolf in action would look like, well, this is your lucky day. The uploader of this clip claims this was captured on the streets of Mexico. He doesn't give us the exact location, but he claims this has been terrorizing them at night for a while now. He captured and shared this to warn others about the Olobo, as he's calling it. He basically believes it's a werewolf living among them. Oh, interesting, wouldn't you agree? While some in the community believe this is the best werewolf video ever shared, the majority think it's just AI. It's led to an ongoing debate. Personally, I'm more inclined to lean towards AI, but what say you? This lady has been going viral for discovering Apple pencils. By discovering, I don't mean she invented them, no. She found 3 of them. Why is this important, you ask? Well, I'll get to that. She was looking for the tip of her Apple pencil when she discovered another lying somewhere else in the room. Oh, the thing is, she only owned 1 pencil and no one else owned one near her. This confused her and she picked it up. She then decided to move to her workstation to make sense of everything, and that's when she discovered a 3rd pencil. Bear in mind that she still only owned 1. She then uploaded this clip asking if anyone had ever experienced this or if they have an explanation. As always, some were skeptical, whilst a few others had something to say. The majority of those who weren't skeptical believed this was a glitch involving 3 different timelines. Simply put, 3 timelines glitched into each other and she got a pencil from the other 2 timelines other than her own. Confusing, I know, but also interesting. If this is really true, then the implications could be wild. Not everyone thinks so, though. Some feel she's faking, whereas others think she might have just picked up stuff from other people. What do you guys think?
You guys, this is like actually freaking me out so bad because I never thought that this would happen to me. But look at this. So I have this Apple Pencil and I was looking for a new tip for it because the 1st gen wears down a lot, right? So I thought that was it. Like I thought I was just gonna, but look at this. Where the hell did this come from? No tip, no top. I don't understand. I just, like what? Okay, and then watch this though. This is actually insane because I thought that I brought my pen with me because it's this one, right? Like I thought that I brought my pen with me when I went to look for the tip, but then this is my study station. What is happening? Why do I have 3 pens?
Now, have you ever had a visitor who wouldn't just leave no matter how many signals you gave them? Well, this man had a similar situation, only he didn't know who this lady is and she showed up on his property where he trains dogs without any warning. He first noticed her during the day, asking her a few questions and then asked her to leave. She was hesitant to, and he had to insist a lot before she left. One would think, well, that would be the end of it, but no, that was not it. Sometime late that night, and by late I mean 3 in the morning, she returned. The owner of the property's attention was drawn to her presence by his dogs who were barking at this point. To provide a bit of context, the owner of the property trains dogs and has many of them on his property. His place is just outside Atlanta. It was weird to have anyone around, let alone a lady at that time. After a bit of back and forth and warnings to call the police, he gets the lady to back off a little. But before she can completely go out of sight, she disappears. This freaks him out, leading to the upload of the clip. He believes he may have been cursed by the lady because she spoke about wanting to bless him, and he turned her away. Sounds crazy, I know, but not everyone is buying it. A few members of the community feel this was just a skit to drive traffic. Well, you've seen the clip, so you tell me what you think.
Listen, you need to leave now. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna let them out. It's midnight. What are you doing here? Leave now. It's midnight. There's no one around. This is my place. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know where you're coming from.
I just came to bless you.
I'm letting my dogs out.
Don't do that.
Now, Hannibal was one of those movies from my youthful years that kept me on the edge of my seat. Well, when I say youthful, maybe not that youthful. Anyway, an intelligent cannibal eats and consumes everyone around him without being caught. That's kind of the premise of the movie, anyway. A dangerous character, yes, but thankfully he was just fiction to me until I came across this man on your screen. Joe Metheny wasn't clever or theatrical. He didn't quote poetry or play mind games. He preyed on the invisible, killing at least 2 women for whom he was convicted, while later confessing to as many as 10 or more victims, and then he claimed something far worse, that he dismembered them, ground their flesh, mixed it with pork, and sold it as food from a roadside stand to people who never questioned what they were eating. He was caught because one woman survived. She escaped an attack, told others what happened, and his name began to circulate. Friends tipped off police, remains were discovered on his property, and Metheny eventually confessed. No genius slip-up, no dramatic chase, just the slow unmasking of a man who'd been hiding in plain sight. And it leaves you wondering, how many more like him are out there, especially in a world where we keep scrolling past strange food clips every single day, laughing, sharing, never really asking what we are consuming. Anyway, on to the next. We have something that's been bugging my mind too. This lady on your screen claims that platforms like YouTube and TikTok are intentionally throttling views, and she says she has the matrix to prove it. She argues that these platforms will randomly blow you up just so you can see the true potential reach of your content, and once you're hooked, they slowly begin throttling your organic reach, forcing you to grind harder with the hope of tasting that glory again. Sounds funny, I know, but have you seen outreach lately? Not just us, but people we know, creators who are pulling crazy numbers, suddenly struggling to hit half of that, doing everything right, and still watching the graph flatline. Is this intentional? Then it's less about content and more about control. Now, the logical side of this says it could just be the algorithm doing what it's designed to do, testing content, chasing watch time, rewarding what keeps people scrolling and discarding what doesn't scale fast enough. At oversaturation, more creators than ever, shifting audience behavior and stricter ad priorities, and the drop starts to make sense. But still, the pattern feels personal when you're living it. So what do you think? Is this calculated throttling to keep creators hooked, or are there deeper mechanics we're just not seeing? Let us know your thoughts, because before you do that though, hit the notification bell so you know when our next video is up. Gracias.
Basically, the major social platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. The organic reach is intentionally restricted at this time. They give you a few high-performing posts to show potential, then they throttle the rest of your videos. The goal is to get you hooked. Then they push you towards paid promotion or ads to continue the growth. That's why we're not getting any views.
Now, people are losing their minds over this one. It's an alleged 800-year-old stone carving from India that actually looks eerily like a modern automobile. Not a chariot, not an abstract symbol, an actual car-like shape carved into the stone centuries before engines were supposed to exist. If you look clearly, you can see the body, a single door, a humanoid creature driving it with one hand on the steering wheel, and the other on what looks like a bugle horn. I can't actually believe the words escape from my mouth, but well, just look at it. Do you have any other descriptions or explanations for what you're seeing on your screen? If this is real, well, it opens a wild door. What if ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we're taught? What if technology is not being invented but rediscovered over and over again after great collapses wipe it out? What if these are just fragments of history quietly resurfacing in stone? Sounds interesting, hey? Julius thinks otherwise, though. He believes we're simply projecting our modern world onto the past. According to him, our brains are incredibly good at filling in gaps and spotting familiar shapes. Once you see a car in something like this, you cannot unsee it. He thinks it's something else entirely, and we're only seeing what we're familiar with. What say you? A team of men were busy working on a property when they chanced upon a mysterious hole in the ground. Intrigued, they took a closer look, and to their amazement, they saw a creature that resembled a dragon-like serpent moving in the hole. This creature is known as a worm, which is a mythical creature often depicted as a cave worm dwelling in underground tunnels. Worm is considered to be one of the most dangerous creatures that you can ever come across. It's also believed that a worm guards treasures in the underground caves and tunnels that they inhabit. However, it's not easy to approach them as they are always on high alert, ready to attack anyone who tries to steal their treasure. In summary, if you ever come across a worm, it's best to run and never look back. But that also means that you just found yourself riches unheard of. Run and leave the treasure or fight the creature for it. Apparently a lot, but this is not one of them. It's what we call a leopard seal, not a mystical creature this time. Leopard seals are strong predators known for their sleek, spotted look and great hunting skills. They live in the cold waters around Antarctica and nearby areas where they're top hunters. Their bodies are shaped like torpedoes, and they have powerful jaws with sharp teeth, making them perfect for life in icy seas. They mostly eat fish, squid, and krill, but they also hunt penguins and other seals. Someone sent us this footage claiming it was the Loch Ness Monster, but come on. I didn't need to go to Julius to know this wasn't one. What do you guys think? What do we have here? Someone trying to pick up this strange-looking creature on the muddy ground with a pair of chopsticks. The creature was sandwiched between the sticks, but as soon as he tried to lift it, the creature vanished from the spot and appeared in another position, almost as if it had teleported. Well, this intriguing creature is called the mudskipper. Mudskippers are fascinating amphibious fish known for their ability to move and survive both in water and on land. They use their pectoral fins to walk on the muddy surfaces of their habitats and their unique appearance and behaviors. While it may seem like the mudskipper teleported, it's actually a combination of its quick, agile movements and its ability to blend into its muddy surroundings that creates this illusion. There are many unexplained things that we've come across that sometimes defy explanation. People often create conspiracies in hopes of making sense of these strange phenomena. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A hand holds up this freaky-looking fish. The fish has two mouths. Yes, you heard that right. Two mouths, one on top of the other. Both mouths were wide open, giving the fish a bizarre appearance. To add to the strangeness, the fish also has 4 eyes, 2 on each side of its face. This footage has raised a lot of eyebrows. Some suggest it's simply a deformed fish, perhaps the result of conjoined twins that didn't fully separate. Others believe that environmental factors, such as pollution or chemicals in the water, could have caused this deformity. There are also those who think this might be some kind of experiment gone wrong in a lab, leading to this unusual creature. What do you think? A resident was inside their home when they heard some commotion from the neighbor's house. They went to investigate and found this strange scene. They saw a pair of animal-like legs with an upper torso being chased by a dog. The resident quickly started recording what they saw on their mobile phone. As the entity moved behind a trash can, it suddenly vanished. What in the world could this be? Was it an alien creature, a supernatural entity, or something else altogether? While some speculated that it could be the result of good CGI, the residents insist that what they had filmed was real. What do you think? During his cave exploration, the man spotted a peculiar fossil that caught his attention. As he moved closer, he realized that it was a saucer-shaped object stuck in a massive rock. After conducting a thorough examination, the experts confirmed that the fossil was, in fact, a UFO that had been buried for over 5 million years.
The discovery of this ancient UFO has sparked a lot of interest and curiosity amongst scientists and the public alike. At least, that's what the individual who sent this clip in said. I've combed online resources and I can't seem to find any credible information. Also, this UFO is rather too small unless the aliens are tiny little buggers. But what do you guys think? What would you do if you returned to your locked car and saw a pair of glowing eyes staring back at you through the window of the passenger side? A man found himself in exactly this situation late one night, and it was an experience he won't soon forget. As he approached his car, he noticed something peculiar inside. On the passenger side, a pale face with glowing eyes appeared briefly, staring intently at him. Before he could fully comprehend what he was seeing, the face vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Understandably shocked, he cautiously opened the car door. To his bewilderment, there was no one inside. The car was empty, with no signs of the eerie visitor he had just seen. The incident left him deeply unnerved. If it were me in that situation, I'd probably leave the car right there and opt for a taxi or an Uber home. The thought of driving off after such an encounter is just too unsettling, and honestly, getting the car exorcised or blessed might not seem so far-fetched after an experience like that. Because really, what on earth was that thing? What would you do in this situation? Share your thoughts and reactions. These days, there are many things coming out that makes me question if everything we know about the world and the Earth is even true anymore. Take a look at this footage. A man was taking a video of the moon in the sky, and as he zoomed in, something strange happened. The moon looked like it was a kite, and then its shape glitched out. The color also shifted to a shade between pink and red. Wow. Now, is this even possible? We all know that the moon is round, but sometimes appears crescent when there is a shadow over part of it. So what is this odd shape in the sky? This makes you wonder if all the talks about a matrix world are real. It's unsettling to consider the possibility that our perception of reality might be manipulated or incomplete. What do you make of this footage? Take a look at this extraordinary sight, a cat with two tails. While I know this can occur due to a birth defect, I can't help but feel intrigued. You will also notice that this cat doesn't cast a shadow. It's perplexing considering the amount of light present in the surrounding area. The ground beneath the cat remains devoid of any shadow. I find this to be highly unusual, and it's only added to my growing suspicion that something is not quite right. With all the strange happenings in the world lately, it's hard not to wonder if there may be more to this than meets the eye. I mean, Julia suspects it might be a hoax, but could this be a glitch in the Matrix or some other unexplainable phenomenon at play? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Next, we have this intriguing clip that depicts a man floating in the air in someone's garden. This video has sparked a lot of discussion, with some people suggesting that the man is using strings or other trickery to create the illusion of levitation. However, others believe that the man's levitation is real and not a mere trick. There are reports of people being able to levitate after intense meditation sessions. Some believe that this is due to the ability to harness and control the body's energy, while others attribute it to supernatural or paranormal abilities. He could also just be a skilled illusionist who has found a way to create the illusion of levitation, or he may have indeed achieved a state of levitation through intense meditation or other means. What do you think about this? Do you think humans can levitate through meditation or other means? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Would you dare enter a cave that had this sign posted at its mouth? A man went exploring near a cave and stumbled upon something chilling. The cave's entrance led down into water, and there he found a stark warning sign. The sign read, "Stop, prevent death, go no further." Beneath this, it continued with an even more unsettling message. More than 300 divers have died in caves like this. The sign went on to caution about the extreme dangers lurking within. What could be inside this cave that warrants such a dire warning? Well, caves like this are often filled with treacherous underwater passages, dark, narrow, and disorienting. Even the most experienced divers can lose their way, run out of air, or become trapped. The risks are so severe that these warnings are placed to save lives. But beyond the physical dangers, what else might lie in the hidden depths of this cave? Could there be otherworldly figures lurking down there? Something that adds, no, thrives on the ominous aura of this place? You tell me. If you love seafood platters, then this next clip is yours to watch and enjoy. You and I have to agree that that's one big boy, right? Well, according to the one who uploaded the clip, in the deep, shadowy ocean where light barely reaches, myths speak of enormous sea crabs that wander the abyssal plains. These massive creatures allegedly have claws that can break steel and shells that are resilient as the strongest armor. This, according to him, has been the stuff of nightmares for sailors' fears for centuries. Ancient stories suggest they once protected a lost underwater realm, an awe-inspiring yet terrifying place hidden far beneath the surface. Some legends claim these crabs grow as large as islands, with the power to sink ships and drag them into the abyss. Others declare that these crabs carry the islands on their backs. We're not told how the individual allegedly got the footage of crabs that can grow that large, but we spoke to some experts and they told us the crab in the footage is nothing more than a spider crab. You can't imagine my disappointment when the news was told to me. Anyway, what do you guys think? Could there have been an iota of truth in his tall tale? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This video clip was recorded of a little bird running along the sandy beach. It's quite unusual to see birds running at such a pace, as they tend to fly or walk around while looking for food. However, this particular bird seems to be moving at an extraordinary speed, almost as if it was training for a race with the Flash. It's an exaggeration, but yes, upon closer inspection it became evident that there was nothing wrong with the bird. The reason it appeared to be moving so unnaturally fast was simply that it was moving faster than the frames per second rate of the camera used to record the video. The difference in speed between the bird and the camera's FPS rate created an optical illusion, making the bird appear to be running much faster than it actually was. Before we move on to the next clip, kindly smash the like and subscribe buttons and bell icon if you haven't already. Done? Well, let's jump back into it. A woman was going about her daily routine when she noticed something on the floor of her room. As she got closer, she realized it was a strange-looking creature that resembled a worm. The woman was unsure about the identity of the creature, so she posted this footage seeking help. Some suggested that it could be a rugworm or some other type of worm, but without a closer examination, it's hard to tell. The question that arises is how this creature ended up in her room. Did it crawl in through an open window or door, or was it brought in on someone's clothing? I'd let you guys decide on this one. I had to watch this clip several times to try and understand what's happening in it. The ground appears to be at the mercy of something very large moving through and on it. After multiple viewing sessions, I'm tempted to believe it's a large snake or some other type of reptile. The individual who uploaded it didn't give much info or context to the clip. He expected us to piece it together and also refused to state where he recorded it. The big question now is that really real, or is someone just playing games with us? Let's just say, if that's actually real, then those that live around the area are in some serious trouble, wouldn't you agree? While you decide on that, permit me to ask, are you familiar with the TR3B? If you aren't, then today is your lucky day. The TR3B is a subject of conspiracy theories, often described as a secretive, triangular-shaped aircraft developed by the US government. Allegedly, this craft uses advanced anti-gravity technology, allowing it to hover silently and move at incredible speeds. Sightings of such triangular UFOs, especially in the US and Europe, have been linked to the TR3B, with many believing it was created using reverse-engineered alien technology. Yes, alien tech. This theory is bolstered by the idea that it was developed as part of a classified military project, possibly at Area 51. Despite its popularity in UFO and conspiracy circles, the existence of the TR3B is widely disputed. There's no concrete evidence to support the claims, and many experts suggest that sightings attributed to the TR3B could be misidentified aircraft or natural phenomena. Additionally, the technology described in these theories is considered far beyond current human capabilities, leading most to regard the TR3B as a myth fueled by hoaxes and misinformation. But is it though? Ha. This surveillance camera that was installed to monitor the road captured something quite disturbing. As the cars were passing by, an unusual object was seen flying past. It was entirely black and appeared to have wings, but it was clear that it was not a bird. The creature looked much larger than a bird, and as it flew past, something that resembled human feet could be seen. It's quite difficult to determine what exactly the creature was, but it could be a human-bird hybrid or some kind of mutant. The incident has led to many theories and speculations, but no one knows for sure what we are looking at. Aaron thinks it might be a Garuda, but Julius points out that the whole thing is too unnatural to be a real capture. He suspects it's an elaborate hoax. What do you guys think? The phenomenon of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, has been a topic of intrigue and speculation for many years. While most reports describe saucer-shaped objects, there are instances where the shapes of UFOs have been particularly unusual. This footage captures one such instant, where an oddly shaped UFO was caught on camera. Interestingly, this type of UFO has been documented in the past, with reports dating as far back as 1561, when it was sighted in Nuremberg. The object is described as being shaped like an upside-down cursor, which is a unique and rather unexpected shape for a UFO. There is even a pamphlet from years ago that is a drawing of the said UFO, adding to the mystery surrounding it. What's your take on this? The Grim Reaper, a figure steeped in myth and legend, is often depicted as the personification of death itself, appearing in various cultures with his signature scythe and black robes. But does such an entity truly exist, or is it merely a product of human imagination and folklore? Recently, footage surfaced depicting a dark-robed entity floating in the night sky, prompting speculation about the existence of the Grim Reaper. While this figure lacked the notable scythe typically associated with the Grim Reaper, the eerie atmosphere it exuded led the poster of the footage to believe that they had captured the legendary entity on camera. So what can we make of this encounter? Could this dark-robed figure truly be the Grim Reaper, manifesting in our world to claim souls as myth suggests? Or is it simply a trick of the light or a case of mistaken identity? The Matrix isn't the only subject that makes me question reality. Recently, there's been a surge of sightings of fairy tale creatures in real life, blurring the lines between myth and reality. People are sharing footage of gnomes, dragons, and even fairies. Take a look at this intriguing clip shared by a man who saw something unusual on his way home. Initially, it appears to be a piece of dried wood lying on the ground. However, as the camera zooms in, you can see that this stick has a head and a face with detailed features that are unmistakably lifelike. Its legs resemble those of a grasshopper, giving it an otherworldly appearance. The creature lies motionless on the ground with its eyes closed, giving it an eerie, almost enchanting quality. Is this real, or is it a hoax? During an expedition in the dense rainforests of Brazil, a curious explorer stumbled upon a set of mysterious bones. Upon closer inspection, it was discovered that the bones were of an unusual shape and didn't resemble any known human bones. This naturally created a buzz, even amongst those in the scientific community, with some speculating that they could be the remains of an extraterrestrial creature. A number of them, after examining the bones, thought it had to be fake. Simply put, the authenticity of the footage has been a topic of debate with mixed hypotheses. If proven to be authentic, this discovery could provide some of the strongest evidence yet that aliens exist amongst us. Having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think? Here we have another situation that is considered a glitch in the Matrix. A man came home from work, and as he entered his room, he noticed a tissue paper that was hanging mid-air in the corner. The tissue paper appears to be suspended mid-air without any visible means of support. But not just that, it was also frozen in time, which was quite perplexing. He searched the surrounding area for any evidence of strings or wires, but there was none. The tissue paper seemed to be hanging there on its own accord. One of the commentators on the original post was not amused. He believed the room had cobwebs. Julius thinks it's a hoax and Aaron thinks demonic beings are playing tricks on him. What do you think? You know the saying, don't start something you cannot finish. Well, take a look at this footage.
Blue, blue baby, baby blue, blue baby, baby blue.
Two women were performing a fertility ritual in their room. One person had the camera and the other was saying in front of the camera as she recited some incantation and swung her arms back and forth as if she was cradling a baby. As she continued, right behind at her door, a pale head with dark hollow eyes poked its head in and stared right at them before quickly retreating. The woman holding the camera saw this and immediately alerted her friend. They both began to scream in panic and confusion. Did these women just summon an entity during the ritual? The sudden appearance of this eerie figure certainly suggests they may have disturbed something otherworldly. This is why we must be careful when meddling with these types of things. Julius thinks this is ridiculous, but I bet there are some of you who have done stuff like that with strange and unexplainable results or occurrences. Care to share? This creature is the stuff of nightmares. Imagine stumbling upon this giant worm with its menacing teeth. Definitely not your average encounter. The lack of details on its origin leaves room for speculation. Is it a creature from the depths of the ocean, a newly discovered species, or just a remarkable creation of special effects? Regardless, if it's not a man-made prop, encountering such a beast would be a jaw-dropping moment, quite literally. Let's hope it's just a product of someone's vivid imagination, because if not, humanity might just need to rethink its place in the food chain. NASA launched a rover to Mars to explore the planet's surface. According to the one who uploaded this clip, during the mission, the rover stumbled upon an unexpected discovery: a finger. It's, however, unclear who it belongs to. According to him, further analysis is yet to be carried out to determine its origin and to understand how it ended up on the planet. There's a possibility that it could belong to extraterrestrial life, or it could have belonged to a human who previously visited the planet. As much as I want to believe this is true, everything about it screams hoax and false. I mean, if NASA discovered something like this, it would be big news, unless, of course, they're in cahoots with the aliens. What do you guys think? As we all know, technology has advanced far beyond our wildest imaginations. Tesla's work with robots is an excellent example of this. However, what caught my attention recently was something even more fascinating: a piece of footage that we discovered. It shows a person holding what appears to be a fly in their hand, but on closer examination, it becomes clear that this insect is not a natural one. It appears to be made entirely of metal and has a head that doesn't resemble that of a regular insect. There were some in the paranormal community, however, who thought it looked like a cicada or a jarfly. I looked them up, and I get where they're coming from, but this isn't it. This discovery raises many questions that I find intriguing. For instance, who made this metal fly, and for what purpose? Are there other animals or insects in the wild that are not real, like this one? If so, what implications does this have for our understanding of the natural world? Imagine being at home and expecting a lightning strike based on how the weather has been in the last few hours or days, and then seeing something like this. Looks like a spell cast by a witch or warlock, right? Or am I the only one thinking that? Anyway, I did some little reading around and discovered that this couldn't be further from the truth. It turns out that this is called ball lightning. If you're like me, who was confused when I came across it, a ball lightning is a rare and mysterious atmospheric phenomenon typically observed during thunderstorms. It appears as a glowing spherical object, often ranging in size from a few centimeters to several meters in diameter, and can last from a few seconds to a few minutes. The glowing ball may move erratically, hover, or even pass through solid objects, sometimes accompanied by hissing or crackling sounds. Despite being reported for centuries, ball lightning is still not fully understood, and its exact cause remains a topic of scientific debate. Several theories have been proposed to explain ball lightning, including the idea that it could be a type of plasma, a result of chemical reactions in the atmosphere, or related to electromagnetic fields generated by lightning. Another theory suggests that microwaves created by lightning might form a stable, glowing sphere. Due to its unpredictability and the difficulty of studying it directly, ball lightning continues to be an elusive and intriguing subject in atmospheric science. But what if science is wrong and there's actually someone casting spells? You know what? Never mind me. Let's move on to the next clip. A group of friends was hanging out near the woods one night when one of them, named Matthew, went into the trees to take a quick bathroom break. After some time passed, they expected him to return, but instead, something else emerged from the darkness.
Something is happening, please. Because this is not happening now. Call the cops on your phone.
There's someone talking right
What the hell is he doing? That's not Matthew. That's not Matthew. That's not Matthew. I know.
As they waited, nervously watching at the edge of the woods, figure slowly appeared. The night was thick with mist, making it hard to see clearly, but the figure didn't move like Matthew. They couldn't tell who or what it was, but it definitely wasn't acting like their friend. The figure stood there, shrouded in darkness, its presence unsettling. Then, without warning, it raised its hands up and didn't move any closer. The friends, still recording with their phones, kept their distance, unsure whether to approach or run. So what or who could that have been? They didn't say and only uploaded the clip. So what do you think? Was it someone playing a prank, or could it have been something far more eerie lurking in the woods that night?
Call the cops on your phone. Call the cops on your phone.
There's someone talking right
What the hell is he doing? That's not Matthew. That's not Matthew. That's not Matthew.
Tell me what you see. It appears that there is an entity moving in the water, and although it's not visible, there's a clear indication that something quite large is present in the water. Some people believe that this could be a massive sea creature swimming out of the water. However, I'm inclined to think that it's an electrical cable being dragged out of the water, and the water's movement is causing the cable to appear to be moving on its own. What's your opinion on this footage? This was captured in the United States. The exact location is unknown. It was taken by a late-night beachgoer who had sneaked onto the beach to take a swim. While on the beach, the individual noticed this pale creature that was crawling on its hands and feet. The creature was waddling along the shoreline with calculated steps, moving in a manner that was both eerie and unsettling. Thankfully, the person who captured the footage was able to find a hiding spot and remain unnoticed by the creature. Despite this, the creature's appearance and behavior have left many people wondering what it could be. Some speculate that it may be a bloodthirsty monster, while others believe it could be a rake. Until more information is available, it's impossible to say for sure what the creature is or what its intentions might be. Personally, I have doubts about its authenticity, but I wouldn't want to be that guy, so let's move on. Stepping away from all that violence, we turn our eyes to a man that keeps a list of the good and the naughty: Santa Claus. If you blink twice, you might miss it, but thank God for replay in slow motion. Do you see it now? There's something or someone in what looks like a sleigh with reindeer moving through the sky at lightning speed. Who do we know that fits the bill? Yes, Santa Claus. But how? He's supposed to be a figment of our imagination, right? Something told to kids to help them act right for their end-of-year gifts. Well, it turns out that's not the case if this clip is to be believed. What do you think, though? Is Santa real? Let us know your stance and the reason for your stance in the comments section. While you do that, it looks like I need to have a conversation with my parents. Still on the strange and bizarre, take a look at this next clip. Pay attention to the fingers. Did you see it? His fingers all of a sudden turned the other way. He even had to drop his pad out of pain. When Aaron sent me the link to the original post, he titled it Ghost Attack, and the moment I watched the clip, I knew why. Many who saw the clip also shared similar views. They believed that this was nothing more than a ghost attack at the supermarket. I find that highly debatable, but nonetheless decided to check the comments section of the original post. Take a look at some of the things I found. This guy stated he had experienced similar. Another mentioned that his pet was probably the way it was because it saw something the man didn't. Others tried to point out that it was nothing more than a finger cramp. You've seen the clip as well, so what do you think? This person was captured from afar in the wilderness. Although not very clear, you can make out the silhouette of a slender person. The person appears to be wearing a robe with an oddly shaped head protruding from their body. The ears were sticking out, resembling the iconic ears of Yoda from Star Wars. What creature could we be looking at? Some might see it as a rare encounter with something beyond our understanding. Others might think it's just our brains playing tricks on us, showing us things that aren't there. What about you? What do you think? At first glance, this footage looks like a capture of the sky with a beautiful shade of blue. However, if you examine the footage more closely, you will see that there is something else there too, a strange entity that comes and goes. This entity moves in a back and forth motion, appearing and disappearing at seemingly random intervals. While it might resemble a cloud, it moves too quickly to be one. Could this be some sort of ghostly apparition? It's hard to say for sure, but it's certainly a possibility worth considering, don't you think? A homeowner was woken up in the middle of the night by a strange tapping on the window. He went to check it out, and this is what he found. A monkey-like creature with wings was tapping on the glass from the outside. The creature had bat-like wings with bright yellow fur around its neck. It looked like it wanted to get into the house, persistently tapping on the glass. The terrified man didn't dare to open the window or investigate further. Some viewers speculate that the creature would be some type of bat, given its wings and nocturnal behavior. However, its face resembled that of a monkey, which is highly unusual for any known species of bat. Others think that this could be a paranormal creature, something out of folklore or myth. What do you think? Is this a rare, undiscovered species, a genetic anomaly, or perhaps something paranormal? Or maybe, just maybe, we have visitors from the Wizard of Oz. They have winged monkeys, remember? A homeowner arrived home after a long day, ready to relax. He was startled to discover something straight out of a nightmare approaching his front door. His eyes widened at the sight before him.
I'm scared!
A clear, slimy substance hung down from above, resembling snail slime but thicker. Suspended from this sticky thread was a strange, shell-less creature wiggling about in the air. The creature looked like a snail, yet it lacked the familiar shell. Its body twisted and turned, seemingly defying gravity as it dangled from the slime. Was this a new or rarely seen species? Perhaps it was a type of slug exhibiting some unusual behavior. Julius says it's possible that they're mating snails. Now, I don't know how factual that is because he was not in his element when I asked him. Can any of you confirm this? Also, what would you do if you encountered such a sight? Let us know in the comments section.
Scared!
There have been many instances of videos circulating online that claim to show evidence of alien life, but some appear to be fake. One such video is this strange creature supposedly spotted in the clouds. The creature is a huge entity with tentacles. The person who shared the footage believes that it's an alien. However, something seems off here. The said alien is darker than its surroundings, which is a telltale sign that the footage has been created using computer-generated imagery. The creature is clearly out of place in its environment. In the middle of the night, a young man stumbled upon a peculiar object hovering above the ground. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that it appeared to be a ring-shaped formation made up of several small orbs. The strange object was swaying back and forth in a rhythm that seemed to defy any logical explanation. While some might argue that it was nothing more than a group of balloons, the time of night made this explanation seem unlikely. As a result, some began to speculate that the object was actually a ghostly apparition or some sort of otherworldly entity. I mean, I want to believe it, but you know that Harry Potter spell? Ridiculous. That's what comes to mind. What do you think it is? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now let's continue with the day's episode. A man and his friends decided to go out in the woods to take pictures of nature, the beautiful trees, and the sky. But when they got to one particular tree, they ended up running back home in sheer terror. Perched on the tree were about 3 creatures. At first glance, they looked like birds. However, when the camera zoomed in, it became clear that they were no ordinary birds. They had web-like wings similar to bats, but they were much larger and had humanoid bodies. When the footage was posted online, many people were skeptical, believing it to be a clever CGI work. The debate raged on, with some insisting it was genuine while others dismissed it as a hoax. But what do you think? Could these creatures be an undiscovered species, or perhaps beings from folklore brought to life? Or is this just another example of impressive digital effects? There are many stories of people seeing things on highways, as these are often the sites of ghastly accidents due to all the speeding cars. A similar eerie encounter happened in this footage.
Это что за призрак?
A group of friends were driving home late one night after a night out when something chilling occurred. A dark figure appeared on the side of the road. Considering it was a highway in the late hour, it seemed very unlikely that anyone would be out there. The friends in the car were so spooked by the figure that they sped off in terror, their hearts racing and minds reeling with fear. This kind of sighting is not uncommon on highways known for fatal accidents. So what do you think it was? Was it a ghost of someone who had likely passed away in an accident there, or perhaps an otherworldly entity haunting that lonely stretch of road? On a tranquil day, a strange event occurred on a rice farm located in Indonesia. A metallic ball suddenly fell from the sky, startling the residents in the vicinity. The ball appeared to be very unusual, and people quickly left their homes to witness the unexpected event. As they arrived at the farm, they saw the ball lying on the ground, and everyone seemed confused and surprised at this strange situation. The ball had a metallic look, and its surface was smooth with no markings or writings on it. The nature of this ball and the reason for its fall remain unknown. Some people suggested that it could be debris from space or even extraterrestrial in origin. However, there was no way to confirm this theory yet. Fortunately, no one was harmed during the incident, and the authorities were informed to investigate the matter further. In this amazing video, we don't see a ghost, but something even more incredible. A majestic creature with bat-like wings and horns on its head, soaring through the sky. This isn't just a bird, it's like a creature from a legend, a dragon in all its breathtaking glory. Seeing such a mythical creature makes us question the world and what we know. How could something like this exist outside of stories and old tales? Is this real footage or perhaps a hoax? I mean, if we can make insects, this should be a cup of tea, right? But even so, I can't help but wonder, from ghosts to legendary monsters, I wonder what else there is to see.
Hey! What are you doing over there?
A man was out in the park with his child when something strange happened. The child suddenly turned toward the trees nearby and pointed as if she had seen something. The man, curious and a little unnerved, called out, "Who's there?" while recording the scene on his phone. As he cautiously approached, he noticed movement. There, retreating in the shadows of the woods, was a pale, eerie creature. This wasn't just any creature, it was hunched over, its body bent in a way that was unnatural, and the most unsettling part? Its hands. They were extremely long, almost dragging on the ground as they moved silently away. The creature moved so quietly that you could almost miss it, slipping back into the darkness of the forest. But the man caught it on camera, just enough to leave us all wondering, what could this be? A cryptid lurking in the woods? This next one made my skin crawl. So if you're someone who can't stand seeing things eerily moving together, you might want to skip ahead for about 45 to 60 seconds. Now that's the disclaimer out of the way, so take a look.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
What do you think this is? When I first saw this, I didn't know what to make of it until I visited the comments section of the original post. It was then I saw comments like these. Now, I'm no expert, but they may be onto something. There is a real chance that these are indeed worms. If you're here and you work with worms or bait or anything of that sort, can you confirm if that's the case? Thank you in advance.
What's that? What's that, brother?
Angels have long been revered as divine beings, known for their luminous appearance and wings. Recently, intriguing footage has surfaced showing a collection of glowing objects in the night sky. The objects were not like the famous glowing orbs that have been spotted in the past. They were a mass of oddly shaped things moving slowly in a captivating manner. The footage has left people wondering if these creatures were truly angels. The video raises many questions. Were these objects divine beings checking in on us, or were they something else entirely? What are your thoughts? As the rain poured down, someone decided to capture the event on their camera. Turns out they did the right thing because suddenly, out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning struck the ground, accompanied by a deafening roar of thunder. Out of the lightning flash emerged a floating, glowing entity. The entity appeared to be hovering mid-air and appeared to be surrounded by an ethereal glow. The person filming was so spooked that they quickly retreated to the safety of their home. The question that remains is, what exactly was that mysterious entity? Was it an angel or some sort of interdimensional being that arrived through a portal created by the lightning strike? Imagine you're out at night and you see this. What's your first reaction? For me, this has got to be a trick question. I am, of course, running out of the place, but not for filming. Somehow the person got closer to get a much better view of everything. Strange if you ask me, especially given the fact that this was recorded at night. What if the creature came to him? How would he have defended himself? How would he have escaped? Well, that didn't happen, but it could have. Obviously, we're dealing with a snake here, but which exact snake and why is it moving like that? Any herpetologist to help us out will be reading. As you share your thoughts, take a look at this footage. The clip you're watching currently was recorded by a man named Todd in a part of the woods he refused to disclose. Why, you ask? Well, if it isn't obvious already, it's because he believes what you're seeing on your screen is actual footage of Bigfoot, and he recorded it himself. According to him, he's seen this humanoid ape-like creature a number of times in the same area, and he's built differently. From its structure to its fur and facial features, although they have some semblance to that of an ape, they at the same time do not look like that of an ape. Based on this, and this alone, he concluded that's Bigfoot. I've looked at this clip several times, and I must say that this is one of the clearest clips we've got of a potential Bigfoot candidate. But is it really Bigfoot? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Stepping away from this sci-fi stuff, let's go back to Aaron's favorite things, skinwalkers. group of friends were out there exploring till they came to the point you see in the clip. Once there, they decided to, go deeper. Their adventure was, however, cut short by these strange and horrifying screams. They didn't know what was making the sound, prompting them to record. After a few seconds of recording, they left the place because the sounds got closer and became more horrifying. They uploaded the clip once they were safe, asking if anyone knew what it was. Many in the paranormal community mentioned it had to be a skinwalker, whereas others thought it was too convenient. They felt the group had faked everything for their 5 minutes of fame. You've seen the clip. What do you also think? Did they fake it, or is that the real deal? Let's take a look at this haunting footage shared by a couple.
Are you giving Daddy his tools?
In the video, the husband is busy fixing the sink, completely focused on the task at hand, while their adorable toddler, a little girl, comes in view. The wife, standing behind the camera, is filming the moment, but here's where it gets unsettling. The little girl picks up a screwdriver and holds it above her head as if she's about to stab her father. The husband, oblivious to her actions, casually pops his head out from under the sink to take the tool from her, smiling as if nothing unusual just happened. This footage left many viewers alarmed. They couldn't help but notice how her gesture looked eerily deliberate, sparking debates online about whether this was innocent child's play or something darker. Personally, I think it's just a little girl mimicking what she's seen without understanding the implications. Kids can be unpredictable and curious after all. But what do you think? Was it just innocent play, or does this moment give you the chills?
Are you giving Daddy his tools?
In March, a homeowner shared rather interesting footage from a security camera they had installed in their backyard. The footage shows what looks like a ghostly figure grazing near a wall that had a dark object in front of it. Out of nowhere, an invisible creature about 3 to 4 feet tall walks in front of the black object on the ground. This creature had an obvious humanoid form and looked like it was made of smoke. The only reason we can see it is because of the contrast with the black object. As soon as it passes by the object, it vanishes in a thin air. The footage caused a frenzy among viewers in the paranormal community. Some believed that this was an alien creature walking around, while others thought it was some sort of ghost or spiritual entity. What do you think this could be? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Am I the only one seeing the strange-looking lizard? No, you can see it too. Oh, great. I'm not seeing things then. The big question now is, why does it look like that? If I had $1 anytime I asked that question on this channel, I'd be a millionaire by now. After doing some digging around and research, which mostly means asking Julius, it turns out that the chances of this critter being an alien creature accidentally left on our planet are incredibly low. Julius and the other science geniuses I interviewed stated that what we are seeing could be the result of a damaged egg or a set of twins that never truly separated or developed well. While that does seem very plausible and logical, I can't help but entertain the idea of it being an alien species. I know the chances of it being so are very slim, but look at it. Doesn't it look like some cute little alien creature? Anyway, have any of you encountered an animal with a similar condition? Let us know what species it was and how different it looked compared to the normal-looking critters in its species. I'll be reading the comments.
Never heard a noise like that before. What the hell would that be?
A hiker was exploring the dense Washington forest when he started hearing strange and unsettling sounds. They were deep, drawn-out howls echoing from somewhere deep within the woods. The sound was dark and haunting, making the entire experience feel eerie and unnatural. While some dismissed it as just a wolf or another animal native to the area, Aaron insists there's something off about these howls, something that doesn't feel like it belongs to any ordinary creature. Could it be a werewolf, a dogman, or perhaps some kind of cryptid lurking in the forest?
I never heard a noise like that before. The hell would that be?
A man on a ferry right in the middle of the sea captured something truly strange on camera.
Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? We're in the middle of the ocean.
Look at this. A fleet of glowing orbs hovering in the sky. They don't seem to move much, just floating there silently above the water. Could this be the infamous sea UFOs we've been hearing so much about? Are they convening for some mysterious purpose? A meeting of sorts, perhaps? Whatever it is, let's just hope it's not to overthrow mankind. What do you think these orbs could be? Let us know in the comments section.
Look, nothing in the sky at all. And then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? We're in the middle of the ocean.
I've seen some pretty large animals in my day, but nothing could have prepared me for these horns. These have got to be some of the largest horns out there, and believe me when I say there are some species of cows or bulls that have such large horns. In fact, some cultures breed some of them purposely to show off their horns or see how big they can get. Now, you know there was no way today's episode was going to end without our bonus segment coming up, right? So can you find out what exact species this bull is and what country it comes from? If you believe you have the answer, you know what to do. Type it in the comments section with one unique fact about this big boy right here. Remember to start your comment with the word bonus. May the best human win. Next, we've got a clip someone sent in that he had allegedly recorded from the daily news in his region. Let's take a look at it together. What would you call this? Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, took one look at it and screamed, "Superbug." Now, when he said it, I couldn't help but laugh. I mean, the very idea of a superbug is amusing, but then again, you can't really blame him for thinking that, can you? I mean, look at the thing. Have you ever seen a bug that large? Now, I tried to do some research online to find if something like this has been reported in any part of the world, and try as I may, I found nothing. Naturally, I started to suspect this wasn't real. It definitely had to be a CGI creation, but then again, it could be the skeptic in me being loud. What do you guys think? What are we looking at here? A colorful bird lowers its head toward a spoon, then sticks out its tongue and... Wait, what is that? Is that its tongue? Is this some kind of alien creature? Well, no. This fascinating bird is called the rainbow lorikeet, and believe it or not, its unusual tongue is entirely natural. Rainbow lorikeets are known for their bright, vibrant feathers and playful personalities, but what really sets them apart is their brush-tipped tongue. Its tongue is specifically adapted to help it feed on nectar and pollen. The tip is covered in tiny hair-like structures that work like a brush, making it easier for the bird to lap up sweet nectar from flowers. So, while it might look odd, this bird is just another incredible example of nature's creativity. Disclaimer, we didn't leak this video, we merely found it and are using it. The footage allegedly comes from a leaked military op in Afghanistan. It showcases an attack on some orbs in the atmosphere. Despite being shot down, they appear unaffected and continue flying. This led many to conclude that this was a UAP encounter and that the government was secretly fighting them and keeping it a secret. Well, I had to investigate, and the findings were a little underwhelming. Turns out it's a training video that got leaked instead. That's what the official sources say, so we'll go with that. Aaron, on the other hand, thinks it's a cover-up. What say you?
What is that? I don't have a candle on. You have that Is it lit up?
A woman came downstairs one evening and was startled by what she found. In the corner of the room, there was a strange sight. Smoke, or what appeared to be smoke, was floating eerily in the air, almost as if it was suspended in place. What makes this even more unsettling is that there was no fire or candlelight anywhere in the house. So where did this mysterious smoke come from? The room was otherwise quiet and untouched, with no obvious source for the strange phenomenon. As she watched, the smoke didn't dissipate like ordinary smoke would. It just lingered there, almost as if it was aware of her presence. Was this some kind of paranormal activity, or could it be something else entirely? An unexplained natural phenomenon, or perhaps a message from something unseen?
I don't have a candle on. You have that Is it lit up?
Вот я, простой американский президент, смотрю на всех этих роботов.
When the clip started, did you think that was real? Well, if you did, at least for the first second or two, then you aren't alone. Personally, after the first 5 seconds, I started to suspect this was not real. And once the lady approached it and lifted a part of its head off, I knew I was a pro at determining when something wasn't real. Moving away from my little joke there, you have to wonder if there aren't advanced versions of these things already moving around us. This would explain many of the strange behaviors and actions we've featured on this channel with regard to public figures like politicians and celebrities. What do you think, though?
Вот я, простой американский президент, смотрю на всех этих роботов.
I'm walking. Look. This plane isn't moving. It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
A woman was out and about when she noticed something strange in the sky, a plane. But here's the eerie part. It wasn't moving, it was just stuck there, frozen midair. This phenomenon isn't entirely new in the paranormal community. Many refer to it as a glitch, suggesting it could be evidence of a simulated reality. Others theorize it might be an optical illusion or some sort of natural atmospheric phenomenon. What do you think?
I'm walking. Look. This plane isn't moving. It's not moving. But it sounds like it's moving.
We often hear about Elon Musk and his groundbreaking tech innovations, but how many of you have heard of Geoffrey Hinton? Known as the godfather of AI, Hinton has been a pivotal figure in the development of artificial intelligence. However, in a clip from an interview he had, he said pretty chilling things about AI. Take a look.
What we did was we designed the learning algorithm.
That's how they do those things.
Hinton believes that humans didn't actually create AI in the way we think. Instead, AI is something we've discovered, something we've merely learned to interact with. According to him, even the most advanced experts still don't fully understand what AI truly is. All they've done is design algorithms to help AI learn and interact with us, but even those systems only scratch the surface. There's a vast unknown element to AI that no one fully comprehends. Anyway, here's where it gets even more chilling. Hinton claims AI is already intelligent, but it doesn't yet have self-awareness. However, if or when it achieves self-awareness, it will become the most intelligent entity on the planet, surpassing humanity and making us a distant second. Hearing this from the godfather of AI himself is unsettling. If AI evolves beyond our control, what does that mean for humanity?
I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
Still on the subject of UFOs, take a look at this. When was the last time you saw a cloud move with a light source in it like that? Aside from that, if you look closely, you'll see what looks like a force field around the cloud as it moves. The individual who posted this online was shocked and weirded out by the whole thing. He wanted answers, but Aaron stated that sometimes things are just what they look like. There's no explanation needed. And by that he means that if it looks alien, then, well, it's definitely alien. What say you? What do you think is actually happening here as well? For a bit of context, we've got some meat, or at least part of it, moving on its own. It appears to be freshly cut, which has me wondering, can freshly cut meat move on its own? Well, the answer is yes. It is possible for freshly cut meat to move on its own. This could be due to residual nerve activity. After an animal is slaughtered, the nerves in its muscles can remain active for a short period. If the meat is very fresh, these nerve endings might still send electrical impulses, causing the meat to contract and move. This phenomenon is more common in certain types of meat, like frogs' legs or fish, where the nerves are particularly responsive. Additionally, factors like the application of salt or changes in temperature could stimulate these nerve endings, triggering muscle contractions even after the meat is being cut. While it can be unsettling to witness, this movement is a natural and temporary reaction, not an indication that the meat is alive. It's simply a result of the biological processes that continue briefly after death. I had to take a mini science course for this one, so a like and a sub at this point would be great. No? Some men were out in the woods when they managed to record this chilling audio. It's a loud, airy sound echoing through the trees. The noise doesn't sound like anything you'd associate with a human or an animal. It's something entirely otherworldly. Take a listen. This mysterious sound has been making its rounds online, sparking debates everywhere. No one seems to have a definitive answer to what could be producing it. Skeptics believe it's a hoax, but believers are adamant that this could be the proof of a Bigfoot or perhaps some other cryptid lurking in the wilderness. What do you think it is?
Oh my god! What the f?
This next footage comes from Belgrade, Serbia. A young boy ran out of his house when he noticed something unusual in the night sky, and what he captured on video has left everyone puzzled. Hovering above was a glowing diamond-shaped object. It didn't look like any conventional aircraft. It wasn't a plane, a drone, or anything recognizable. Instead, it shimmered with a mysterious glow, almost as if it was emitting light from within. As the boy zoomed in on the object, its intricate details became even more apparent. The diamond shape was unmistakable, and its steady presence in the sky added to the eerie atmosphere. And then, just like that, it was gone. The object vanished without a trace. What do you think it is? Is this another piece of evidence pointing toward UFOs, or just an unexplained atmospheric phenomenon?
Oh my god! What the f?
I've come across conversations about frequencies and how essential and influential they can be, specifically how certain frequencies in music we listen to can affect our mood and overall well-being. Recently, I discovered some intriguing information about a particular frequency known as the miracle tone or love frequency, which is at 528 Hz. According to proponents of this frequency, when it's played, it can reconstruct human DNA and repair it to a perfect state. This process is believed to provide clarity of mind, inner peace, and even physical healing. These types of frequency tones or music are called healing tones. The 528 Hz frequency in particular is often referred to as the DNA repair frequency. It is said to resonate at the core of everything that connects to our heart, spiritual essence, and divine harmonica. Some people believe that listening to music tuned to this frequency can help promote healing and transformation on a cellular level. Is this accurate and legitimate? Well, it's hard to say. Different frequencies are associated with different perceived tones and pitches when heard by humans. There is some scientific evidence that certain sound frequencies can influence brainwave activity and have psychological emotional effects when listened to. However, many of the specific claims made about the impact of individual frequencies like 528 Hz on biological processes like DNA repair are controversial and not universally accepted by mainstream science. Would you give it a try? Considering all the weirdness and stress in the world, this might be a simple yet powerful way to enhance our well-being and find some much-needed peace, or a complete waste of time. Who knows? Take a look at this footage, captured in the middle of the woods by a late-night adventurer. On the forest floor lay a grotesque creature. It lay still with its arms crossed over its chest. The creature was pale, with long white hair cascading from its head and a single long horn protruding from its forehead. It appeared lifeless on the ground. The creature resembles something out of a dark fairy tale or a mythological cryptid. However, when the footage was posted, many people in our paranormal communities were skeptical, suggesting it was just a costume rather than a genuine cryptid. What do you think? Personally, I can understand why they think that, since this is one of the least convincing cryptids we've ever featured on this channel. But what are your thoughts? Is this an actual encounter with an unknown creature, or is it just an expertly crafted prop meant to deceive? You tell me. What you're looking at is a fascinating device created by Honda, the Honda Walking Assist device. This innovative gadget is designed to fit snugly around your waist, with support extending between your legs. The purpose of this device is to help people stay on their feet longer by providing subtle assistance to their movements. It's particularly useful for individuals with limited mobility or those recovering from injury. Powered by Honda's advanced robotics technology, the device analyzes your walking pattern and uses small motors to gently assist your steps, reducing strain and fatigue. While it seems like a promising tool for improving mobility and independence, the Honda Walking Assist device never made its way into mainstream use. Would you consider using something like this if it were available? There's a phenomenon that has long baffled scientists. It's called sonoluminescence. It's a fascinating phenomenon where tiny bubbles in a liquid emit brief flashes of light when subjected to intense sound waves. This occurs when a bubble, formed in the liquid by the sound waves, rapidly collapses, creating extreme temperatures and pressures inside. The exact mechanism of the light emission is still not fully understood, but theories suggest that the collapsing bubble may generate temperatures as high as tens of thousands of degrees, producing light in the process. Sonoluminescence has intrigued scientists because it transforms sound energy into light and could offer insights into energy concentration and plasma physics. Personally, it intrigues me for a different reason. What if this is what many who see underwater UAPs are actually seeing? Could this phenomenon be behind the mysterious light people are seeing underwater? Could this mean that there are no UAPs underwater, or are the UAPs responsible for them in the ocean? I'll let you have a think about this one. This next footage was sent in by a subscriber. They were snooping around Antarctica on a map, zooming in when they came across this chilling image. It appears to be the giant skeletal head of a monster floating on the water with the rest of its body submerged. The creature's mouth is slightly open, revealing razor-sharp teeth. The sight is both eerie and fascinating, leaving much to the imagination. Antarctica is a place widely believed to hold many secrets shrouded in mystery and largely unexplored. Are we perhaps looking at one of those secrets? This creature certainly doesn't look like something you'd want to pet or take home as a catch for dinner. And since it's an image, we can't be sure if it's dead or alive. What do you think this could be? Let's take a look at this next footage. A man was walking home alone one night when he noticed something eerie. An object was floating a few inches above the ground right by a nearby wall. What makes this even more unsettling is that the object wasn't lightweight, nor was there any wind blowing. To make matters worse, it moved at a hauntingly slow speed as if something unseen was dragging it. It seemed to be following the man. He was understandably spooked by this encounter. One thing is for sure, this might be the last time he walks home alone at night. Anyway, do you think this was a wraith? What do you think was going on here? Share your thoughts below. Back in 1994, Los Angeles experienced a massive power outage, plunging the entire city into darkness. As night fell, the local police station was bombarded with 911 calls from concerned residents, and this was the reason. The night sky above the city was illuminated by strange silver clouds. It gave the whole place an otherworldly, dull silver hue. The government quickly stepped in, claiming this phenomenon was nothing more than the Milky Way. It's normally hidden by the city's bright lights. But not everyone bought this explanation. Why would the Milky Way appear so drastically different during a blackout? Could there have been something more mysterious at play? What do you think? A woman was casually looking out of her window at her neighbor in the building across from hers. His blinds were wide open, and he was seated at his dining table eating his meal. But then something strange caught her attention. At the other end of his dining table, there was a fork floating in mid-air with a piece of pasta skewered on it. It hovered there, moving as though someone invisible was about to take a bite, but there was no one else at the table. Could this man be dining with a ghost? Perhaps the real takeaway is, don't spy on your neighbors. What say you?
There's a UFO in New York City, y'all. Yo, it's a UFO in New York City. Yo, look at the beams.
Here we have another UFO sighting, this time in the heart of New York City. A driver stuck in traffic noticed something unusual in the night sky. A bright glow was emanating from behind the clouds, and as he zoomed in with his camera, it revealed a peculiar horizontal arrangement of lights. But what could this be? As if the sighting wasn't strange enough, a large ray of light suddenly shot out from the glowing lights and splashed across the sky for a brief moment, illuminating the area. Just as quickly as it appeared, the ray faded and the glow returned to its original state. Many people watching this footage were quick to claim that this was a UFO, pointing to the mysterious nature of the lights and the sudden flash as evidence of something otherworldly. However, skeptics were less convinced. One commenter offered a more grounding explanation, explaining, "Those are just the high beam lights on top of the building at Bryant Park. Stop it." So is this really an unidentified flying object or just an illusion caused by city lights? Share your thoughts.
Yo, that's a UFO in New York City, y'all. Yo, it's a UFO in New York City. Yo, look at the beams.
لو سمحتوا يا جماعة التنانين بتلف حوالين العمارة عندنا. لو سمحتوا بعد إذنكم أنا في منطقة في ظهر العروبة. لو سمحتوا التنانين.
And no, you aren't seeing things. This is actual footage. At least that's what the one who uploaded it said it was. To give you a bit of context, a lady was out at the beach relaxing until she caught a glimpse of that. The creature to her looked like something that belonged to a prehistoric era, as it had a long body with wings resembling those of a bat, and yet somehow retained a bird-like appearance. It was almost as though she was looking at a dinosaur soaring through the sky. But that shouldn't be possible, right? They're extinct, or at least they're supposed to be. She uploaded this seeking clarity, and as always, different opinions were flying left and right and center. When it got to our studio, Julius, the ever-skeptic, suggests that this might be a cleverly constructed model, perhaps something built to mimic a creature from the past. What's even more shocking is the fact that Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, is tempted to side with Julius on this. Weird, right? Anyway, you guys have seen it. What do you think?
لو سمحتوا يا جماعة التنانين بتلف حوالين العمارة عندنا. لو سمحتوا بعد إذنكم أنا في منطقة في ظهر العروبة. لو سمحتوا التنانين.
Doctors say there's no cure for the NIPAH virus, the Nipah virus.
And once again, like something very familiar, this virus comes from overseas. And once again, like something very familiar, it can be contracted from fruit bats. And according to many reports, airports have already launched read it for yourself style health checks after the outbreak of this deadly virus. And the name of this virus? It's called Nipah. And as you can see from the definition, the Nipah virus is a zoonotic virus that causes severe respiratory illness and fatal encephalitis in humans. This virus is both rare and extremely dangerous.
Fear-mongery of the highest, like the control we had during the COVID lockdowns that everybody pretty much believed, sticking needles in their arms and booster after booster after booster after booster and still getting ill. You know, during the whole COVID period, I didn't do the vaccination thing. I'll be honest with you, I am unvaxxed, proudly unvaxxed. I got COVID. I lost it within 3 days. I felt like absolute shit for 3 days. Took me maybe another couple of weeks after that the same way, but it just felt like the worst flu I'd ever had in the whole of my life. But I got over it. My immune system did its job, which is what it's supposed to do. Survival of the fittest, folks. If your immune system can't do it, I'm not saying, some things can help, but I don't know. You tell me what you think.
So the one thing to definitely keep in mind, there is no vaccine for this. There is no cure for this. And that's according to experts. So keep a very close eye on this and don't ignore it.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, there are clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't. Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have.